Hey love, this is Magda K and welcome to this video. So I am super excited about the topic today because it's something that I am passionate about and something that I am outraged about. And this is the misunderstanding of what femininity and masculinity is. And as a consequence, actually, people who teach these concepts, despite the good intentions that they have, they're actually causing a lot of harm, and they're helping people get even more confused and find even less ability for self-acceptance and self-love. And this is why I'm so vocal about this topic. As a woman in the tantric field, I actually really for a long time felt that I am not legit, that I'm not honest, that I am not aligned with my energy because I am too masculine. I would see other tantra teachers, women who are very delicate, very soft, this kind of fairy-like goddesses, and I would compare them to myself thinking, I'm not like this. There must be something wrong with me. I am too in my masculine. I have too much of a Western mind. I need to change. And you know, at that time, I really bought into this idea of what femininity and masculinity is. And it took me quite a few years to understand that the way we teach these concepts is just not true. In fact, it's very limiting. So what masculinity and femininity is, it's actually really complex. And you know, in the world of spirituality, understanding these two concepts, it's like PhD in the university. And most people never actually bother to dive so deep into studies. Most people have never actually felt how these two energies feel. Instead, what happens is that we hear someone talk about it and another person, and then we create our own video, our own blog post, and the information spreads so fast and so far, and no one actually questions whether it's true or not. And so right now I get so triggered when I see people opening workshops and retreats for women, telling them how to be more feminine. I know some coaches who specialize in working with women, and their whole point of coaching is to help women be more feminine in business. I do not align with that idea. And so in this video, I want to show you two problems around this idea of femininity and masculinity, and how to look at yourself and other people from a different perspective, through a different lens, that will help you find self-acceptance, find, self-love, and just this understanding the way I am is perfect, I don't need to change, but still be able to tap into different energies depending on what's happening in your life and what you want to accomplish. So let's look at how we understand femininity and masculinity these days. So what people teach as masculinity is any energy that is outgoing, that is intense, that is goal-oriented. Action is masculine. So, if you look at modern businessmen, if you look at people who go to the gym, that's this masculine energy. Now, when we look at the femininity, what we understand by this is more of the surrender, the relaxation, going with the flow, being just kind of in the moment and flexible and mobile. Now, what people are actually talking about is not femininity and masculinity. They're talking about different understanding of energy that has nothing to do with that polarity. And that system is the four elements of nature. So what people actually confuse is that they take the element of fire and earth and they assume that that's masculinity, and they take the element of water and air and they assume that that is femininity. The problem is that each of these four elements, they're not feminine nor masculine. So it's not true that fire by nature is masculine or that water by nature is feminine. They do not have that polarization. So let's look at these four elements to kind of show you exactly the confusion. Let's start with the earth. The earth is this element that connects us to our animalistic nature. So these are also the animalistic desires. And when you have those desires, you just go for it. It's this heavy, animalistic, physical energy. So the earthy element, for example, people who are naturally very earthy, these would be the people who, for example, love going to the gym and doing the weights. Now think about it. If you went to the gym and saw a man or a woman doing a lot of weights, would you think that, wow, they're so feminine? Or would you think like, wow, they're really masculine? Now let's move to the second element, and this is water. So think of someone who is very emotional, very flowy. That's the element of water. Water is changeable. It adjusts its shape to whatever container it's in. This is also where our emotions and fantasy and romance lies. So think of, for example, a person who is a total romantic and they love dinners with the candlelight and they're just so sensitive, so emotional. We think of that person that they're very feminine. Well, is it really feminine? Not necessarily. Now let's go to the next level, and that's your fire. Now fire is your desire, that's your passion, that's also your discipline and focus. So the ability to set the goal and then do what needs to be done to accomplish that, that's your fire. Once again, let's look at the business world these days. When we have someone who's very productive, we think they are masculine. And then let's move to the element of air. Air is very subtle, very, very soft, moves very gently, right? That kind of movement, that's the air. Now, if you saw someone who's dancing like this, like a feather, would you think that they're masculine or feminine? So that's the point. We assume that water and air are feminine, fire and earth are masculine. Now look, here's something you need to understand. Every person on this planet has all of these elements, but you will have some resonance towards one or two more than the other. So there will be some people who are predominantly fiery or predominantly watery. So me, I am predominantly earthy and then fiery. My partner, he's very fiery and watery. Now look at the consequences of confusing the four elements and the masculine feminine energy together, thinking that it's one and the same system. When you have a woman who is watery or airy, you're saying, wow, what a beautiful feminine woman. She's perfectly aligned with her energy. But when you have a woman who is fiery or earthy, we say, oh, she's masculine. She needs to let go of her masculinity. She needs to be more feminine. Same goes for men. Men who are very fiery or earthy, we say, wow, great masculine man. He is in his element. When a man is watery or airy, we say, oh, you're too feminine. You need to realign with your masculinity. So basically what we're saying is that half of the population needs to change. Because statistically, half population of men will be fiery or earthy and another half will be watery or airy. And same goes for women. Now, really, do you think that nature would have made such a big error, like getting it wrong for 50% of population? What if you can be a watery woman and still be feminine? What if you can be a masculine man and still be airy? So I would like to let go of this whole idea of the femininity and masculinity and instead focus on these four elements. Because me as a fiery woman, it doesn't mean that I am not feminine. It simply means that I am fiery. So think about it. You have access to all these four energies. And then depending on the situation in your life, you get to tap into different elements. So we keep hearing that women are too masculine in the work environment. They're not masculine, they are fiery. And the reason why they are fiery is because the way that business works today is that you're going to accomplish the most and be most productive and successful if you tap into your inner fire. In relationships, you will be most successful if you tap more into your water. That doesn't mean that I am masculine as a being. No, I am fiery in my business. I am watery in my intimate connection. I can sometimes be very airy when it comes to studying because I'm someone who easily adopts new concepts. none of that makes me less or more feminine. And I would really love for you to look at yourself not through the lens, am I feminine enough? Am I masculine enough? Do I need to change? Forget about that. Instead, look at yourself, how fiery am I? How earthy? How watery? How airy am I? And in that specific situation in my life, tapping into each of these elements, which one would help me the most? That's what you want to focus on. Besides, I have to also add that I totally do not align with the idea that women need to be feminine and men need to be masculine. To me, we have both of these energies, and I am just as feminine as I am masculine. So if I am even masculine in a certain area of life, what's wrong about that? Like, it's sort of telling me that using one of my hands is correct and using the other one is wrong. Why, if I have both hands? If I have both feminine and masculine energy, why can I not step into my masculine? And same goes for men, and also same goes for every person who does not identify either as a woman or a man. So to me, let's let it go. And in fact, I don't even use the terms masculinity and femininity. These are really advanced concepts. You know, the way we talk about, we try to take it and simplify it. And as a consequence, we've created this crazy tiny boxes of the femininity and masculinity, trying to squeeze people in them. But those boxes are not real. They're illusions, they're simplifications, they are stereotypes. And the more you try to push someone and tell them that's how you need to be, that's what femininity is, and by the way, you need to be more feminine because you're a woman, we are limiting a person's natural, honest, real, unique expression. The way I like to look at human beings is that you're this combination of different energy. You are a combination of talents, of desires, of strengths. And then you are in this life with that combination for a reason, so that you can create this magnificent, unique life, unique experience for you. No one else can tell you how to be. You know, for me, the fact that we don't understand the energy of these four elements is really painful, because I see so much attempt to try to change someone's natural way of being, someone's natural, honest, true energy blueprint, just because someone doesn't understand that. So that's my intention for you, to find more self-acceptance. You are as you are. Doesn't matter if you're feminine or masculine. That's the conversation for me that we need to be having. So I would love to hear your opinion. I would love to hear what you think about this. Do you agree that women are too masculine, we need to be more feminine, and that men are also sort of not aligned with their energies? Or do you find this concept to be limiting? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like that video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check the links for Facebook and Instagram below that video if you want more personal connection with me, because I share personal information there every day. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll catch you soon.